Hello everybody, my name's Chris and welcome to Retro Ratchet. Today's video is going to be about the Mk3 Mazda MX5 and it just so happens to be my car. Okay, let's kick the video off with a wee walk round. So in my view, it's quite a well proportioned car. It's got that long bonnet there and it's got those flared arches, specifically the front ones. See when you come around here and look at these, see how far out they're actually flared? So it does give it quite a nice stance. Quite a rounded off front end. I mean, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it looks all right, you know. And I think as these get older, they'll be like the Mark 1s and Mark 2s, you know, they will gather quite a following. I think from this angle as well, they do look pretty decent with the twin exhausts there. And in my mind, the best colour for a two-seater convertible is red. I've just recently polished this one up and it's come up an absolute treat. So let's take a wee look at the condition of the roof. I think it's in great condition for its age. I don't know if it's been replaced. I've not replaced it, but there's no rips or tears. It's in excellent condition. I did spend quite a while cleaning it when I first got it. One thing it would probably benefit from is maybe it being re-dyed. That would just improve that somewhat more, getting that back to black. So that's one tech there for the roof, and that's it with the roof down. So it's a manual roof. What do we think of that? Look more sporty with the roof down. You've got those chrome hoops there just behind the seats, which actually don't look too bad. But this is ideal day. Two-seater convertible, roof down. So I mean, for what they are, they're a decent little budget two-seater that you can have a lot of fun in for not a lot of money. Right, we're going to attempt to roof down today. It's kind of cold. It looks a lot warmer than it actually is. First thing you notice when you get into an MX5, well any MX5 actually, you know, you're sitting right the way down. You do feel like you're in a proper sports car. Steering wheel is quite flat. So for me, this is a great driving position. You know, arms are quite close, and your legs are stretched out. Obviously starts on the button, sweet as a nut, Japanese engineering. The thing with these, it's all about feel and the experience, rather than the outright performance. You know, you're sitting right down low, you're in a two-seater. So outright pace isn't really the most important thing in my view in something like this. It's all about how much fun you can have on a country road like this, with the roof down and a hat on. But yeah, you do need to work it to get the most out of it. So as you can tell, they do rev really well. They aren't the fastest thing on the road. I think 125 horsepower out the 1.8 16 valve, which is kind of adequate in one of these. Dare I say, I think it sounds a wee bit better than the XC90s, and that's turboed and supercharged. One of the big plus points with an MX5, in my view, is the way they handle. This one, I haven't really done any suspension work to it, and it feels like it's on rails. It's very, very flat. I feel very confident in its abilities on the road like that. How much fun is that? I mean, it was probably 9 seconds to 60. But you just get the feel, you get the impression, you know, that you're in a sports car, a real sports car. You're driving a lot faster, a lot more enthusiastically than you are. And that's where this car does really deliver. Now the brakes are actually really good as well. So I've done quite a bit of work on the brakes on this one. So it stops really well. You know, there's hardly any pedal travel at all. With it being a light car, yeah, braking performance is excellent. Steering's another thing I really like about this MX5. It's so direct. I find it goes exactly where I want it to go. You know, it turns in so well. So where it lacks in outright power and performance, I think it makes that back up in braking, steering and suspension feel. The brakes are just awesome on it. So no concerns about the braking performance whatsoever. So what do I think of the transmission? Excellent. There's a super short throw between gears. You can see it there. I mean, that's at literally third to fourth. A wee bit notchy, but it is quite direct, so I quite like it. So I rate the gearbox on it. I've never had any issues finding the right gear. You can get through them really fast as well. I think it's reasonably precise. So it's definitely a thumbs up for the transmission. It is only a 5-speed in the 1.8s. Clutch is fine. I don't find it too heavy. It just feels like a standard car. Clutch itself grips pretty well, and this one bites about halfway up. So yeah, no issues whatsoever on that front. So stick in the comments if you happen to have a 2-litre NC that you'd like me to do a review on. It'd be interesting to see how it compares to this one. Right, we'll have a wee look, see what acceleration's like from a standing start. Not too bad. I wouldn't say it was rapid, but then I wouldn't say it was slow. Also in terms of suspension, I don't think it's too firm, so when you're on a rough surface like this, you're getting jolted about all over. I think this is probably a wee bit softer than the R8 Coupe that I done a couple of weeks ago there. So I think they're very easy to live with, these. Right, let's get a closer look at the condition on this one. So the body, I think at best, is fair on this one. You've got the usual little blisters around the wheel arch there. I don't know if you can make them out. Tons of little stone chips. I mean, overall, it's a very, very presentable car, but I'd certainly not say it was mint. Another blister around there, and a bigger blister there at the back of the arch. The boot lid at some point has obviously had some kind of spare wheel carrier possibly on it. There's a mark there, a mark there, a wee bit of a mark there, so that's not ideal. Then round onto the passenger side. Passenger side rear arch seems to be a wee bit better. Got a wee blister round there at the bottom. Door's not too bad. And then front wing, that's in decent condition. The headlamps could definitely do with a polish, and the car does need another clean. But yeah, so they could do with those headlamps being polished on that. Front bumper, good few chips and scratches on it. Bonnet itself isn't too bad. A couple of bigger scratches going across the bonnet there. So yeah, I think it's kind of fair for its age. Definitely not mint, but definitely I've seen a hell of a lot worse. Right, let's take a wee look at the interior. So driver's seat, I'd say that's in really good condition. No tears, a wee bit of wear there as you'd expect. Passenger seat, again that's in really good condition as well, I'd say. Just being the 1.8, this has just got the standard cloth seats in it. Door cards on these, well these are just a plastic, so there's no wear as such on these. Same with the passenger one, that's in decent condition. Looks like it's still got its original Mazda MX5 mats in it, and the carpet underneath's in pretty good condition as well. So you guys know I've got a fascination with dashboards. This one is pretty standard, rev counter, speedo. You've got an oil level gauge there. Well, I think it's oil level and not pressure. You've got an oil pressure gauge there, engine temperature and petrol, so it's not the most exciting one. You do have these, bezels round the instruments which do make it look a wee bit better. Got a multi-function steering wheel here with the controls for the radio on it, obviously horn in the middle. A couple of tiny little sun visors up here, but they do the job. In the centre, obviously no air conditioning, heated rear window, standard Mazda CD player there. Standard Mazda CD player there, and then you've got this piano bat, and you've got this piano black plastic trim across here, which looks pretty decent actually. Centre console, apart from being filled with all my crap, You've got this chrome effect gear knob, electric window switches, and some storage in here and in there. And then you've got a wee cup holder over there, which is pretty handy, alongside the electric mirror switches. Right, what are my conclusions? Likes and dislikes. Well, what I like about it to start with, driving position. I love this, low down driving position where you're sitting right down on the floor, legs out, steering wheel flat, you feel like you're in a real sports car. So I really like the driving position. Other things I like about these, I think the handling, steering, and braking setup is excellent. I think the engine performance and torque, it's adequate for in the scope of what it is. On to dislikes. What do I dislike about the car? Some of the fit and finish inside, although it is practical, it does feel a little bit cheap. Certainly the radio console, that kind of thing, the switch gear on the steering, the door trims and things, they are quite basic. But again, put in the context of what it is, it isn't a luxury two-seater sports car. It is just a budget two-seater for getting out and having a blast along the country lanes. So Mazda have really done well packaging this car up. The combination, the gears, the Revy engine, the suspension, the brakes, the steering, all fits together, and I think it all works and gels really well to produce a great fun little two-seater car. And in addition, they're super cheap at the moment. Just keep an eye out for rust on the sills and the floors.